Hi, Dawn Levine here with Georgia Wills Trust and Probate Firm. And today in our Ask Me Anything segment, we're going to talk about where to keep your original will, trust, and other documents. I get this question a lot. Usually the first thing people suggest is, should I get a safe deposit box? Is that the best place to keep them? And I almost always, my answer is no, that is not going to be the best option. One exception, if you think somebody in your household is likely to destroy these documents because they don't like what they say, or something like that. If you are moving around a lot and you're thinking that they might get lost, that might make sense, but probably still not the best option. So why do I say that? It used to be that safe deposit boxes were probably a very good option because it was a safe place and the banks would, your bank knew who you were. They knew your family and they operated in a somewhat informal manner. But with the litigious nature of society now, banks have gotten very cautious, and who can blame them? So if you have documents in a safe deposit box and the bank learns that something has happened to you, you've become incapacitated, you've passed away, something has happened, even when there is a joint owner on that box, they're going to lock it down most likely. They're going to require a court order to open it. And unfortunately, the thing that shows you deserve the court order is in the box. So it creates a very difficult cycle of calamity for your family. They can't get to what they need to in a timely way and not without an inordinate amount of cost. So what do I suggest instead? Safes for your home have become so widely available, so inexpensive, and so easy to use that that's going to be a much better option for most people. If you're worried about theft, they make very small versions that can be bolted to the floor. They make larger versions that cannot be easily carted away. So those can be a much better option. You can get a home safe for $40-ish, somewhere around there. And I have several that I've purchased over the years, very easy to use. Sometimes they have a little slot on the front so that you can just add things easily without even opening it. There can still be issues with people being able to open it if the key is lost or you didn't pass the combination on to the loved ones. But that's much easier to hire a locksmith to open it than it is to try to get a court order out of a judge. So a fireproof safe at home is going to be a much better option for your originals. The copies you can keep somewhere very accessible, maybe in a file cabinet. Let everybody who needs to know where they are. So that's a much better way to handle things. So if you're going to put things in a fireproof safe, let the people who need to get access to them know where the safe is and know how to open it. Back to safe deposit boxes though. I'm really not a fan for pretty much any purpose. An empty one can be just as much of a hazard as a full one. If you have a safe deposit box and we don't know what's in it, if something happens to you, we're going to have to open it to make sure there isn't something important in there. And I will tell you, people of a certain age will remember Al Capone's vault from the 90s or the 80s. And I've lived that experience with clients several times where we got the court order and the locksmith is there on the clock and the bank people are there and the attorney's there on the clock and there's a lot of expense, and we open the safe deposit box and there's nothing in there, or something in there that's relatively worthless, something we could have gotten from the courthouse for $5, a certified copy. So safe deposit boxes for most people don't make a lot of sense. I have seen exceptions, like I said earlier. If you're concerned that somebody in the family has an incentive to destroy your documents because they don't like what they say, a safe deposit box in a court order might be a better route. If you find yourself in that position, then I would, at a minimum, make sure that the important people who need to get access to them at least have a copy in advance, so that they've got something that they could use to establish the need for that court order. Otherwise, they're going to be in a very difficult position. So there's that. I have seen some people, for cultural reasons, there's a lot of family wealth in gold and gold jewelry. That might make sense to keep a safe deposit box for something of that nature. If you've got $300,000 worth of gold jewelry, maybe you don't want that in a fireproof safe at home. Maybe you do want that at the bank. So there, like I said, limited exceptions, in my opinion, about whether a safe deposit box is a good thing or not. So I usually recommend to my clients, unless they have one of those exceptions, to empty the safe deposit box, get a fireproof safe for home, and close down the safe deposit box altogether. Don't just leave it there empty. Like I said before, if we don't absolutely know for certain that it's empty, we're going to have to open it, and we might need a court order to do that. It's very expensive. So, hope you found this helpful, and I hope that you will come back and review more of our Ask Me Anything videos.